Tonight, millions of people are going to lose their minds over a ball crossing a line. You will too. Your team scores. You leap off the couch. You scream a sound you didn't know you could make. Your heart is pounding like you just outran a predator, but you didn't move a muscle. You didn't score the goal. You didn't even touch the ball. So why does your body react like you just survived something? The real answer is far stranger than excitement. Your brain doesn't know the difference between your team winning and your tribe surviving. Think about what actually happens in your body during that moment. Your palms sweat. Your pulse spikes. Adrenaline floods your bloodstream. Researchers have measured this directly. In 1998, psychologist Paul Bernhardt and his colleagues studied fans watching the 1994 World Cup final between Brazil and Italy. They took saliva samples before and after the match. What they found was remarkable. The testosterone levels of fans rose when their team won and dropped when their team lost. Not the players, the fans. People sitting on couches, thousands of miles from the stadium, experience the same hormonal shift as an animal that just won a real physical contest for territory or a mate. Your body doesn't know it's watching television. It thinks it's competing. Why would evolution wire you this way? You have to go back further than football, further than nations, further than written history. For most of human existence, you didn't live alone. You lived in a small group, maybe 30 to 50 people, who depended on each other for everything: food, protection, information about danger. Your survival wasn't really about you. It was about your group's survival relative to other groups. If a neighboring band was stronger, better organized, more cohesive, your band could lose access to land, water, or safety. Group success wasn't a metaphor. It was survival currency. This is where things get interesting. Your brain built a shortcut for this. Psychologists call it social identity. It means part of your sense of self isn't really about you as an individual. It's about the groups you belong to, your family, your community, your team. When psychologist Muzaffar Sharif ran his famous experiments with groups of boys at a summer camp in the 1950s, he found something unsettling. It took almost nothing to create fierce loyalty and hostility between two groups. Give people a shared label, a shared color, a shared name, and their brains start treating strangers on the other side as rivals. Not enemies exactly, but definitely not us. Here's the twist. Your brain still runs this ancient software, even though the stakes have completely changed. Nobody's going to take your land if Argentina loses. Nobody's going to starve if Belgium wins. But you feel it anyway. Why? Because the machinery inside your skull was never built for accuracy. It was built for speed. It reacts first and asks questions, never. A jersey becomes a tribal marker. A crest becomes a flag. A 90-minute match becomes a stand-in for the ancient contest your ancestors couldn't afford to lose. There's a name for what happens next, once your team wins. Social psychologist Robert Cialdini documented it in a series of studies back in 1976. He and his team watched college students after football games. When their school's team won, students were far more likely to wear clothing with the school's name or logo the next day. Cialdini called this basking in reflected glory. You didn't play, you didn't coach, you didn't touch the ball, but somehow the win still feels like it's partly yours. Doesn't that seem a little irrational? It is irrational if you think about it purely as logic. But it isn't irrational at all if you think about it as ancient psychology doing exactly what it was built to do. Your ancestors who felt genuine pride and connection when their group succeeded were more likely to stay loyal, cooperate, and defend that group when it mattered. The ones who felt nothing had less reason to stick around and less reason to fight for anyone but themselves. Over tens of thousands of years, the feeling won out. Loyalty became instinct. And instinct doesn't ask whether the tribe is a hunting band or a national football squad wearing a specific shade of blue. This might explain something else that seems strange on the surface. Why does losing feel so much worse than winning feels good? Researcher Daniel Wan, who has spent decades studying sports fandom, has found that die-hard fans often experience real drops in mood and even measurable physiological stress after a loss. Some fans report feeling genuinely depressed for days. Meanwhile, a win produces a shorter, sharper burst of joy that fades faster than you'd expect. Ancient survival logic explains this asymmetry too. A missed threat could kill you. A missed opportunity just meant you tried again tomorrow. Brains that overreacted to danger and underreacted to good news survive.